Hi everyone, welcome to MGS Coaching Football, and thank you for watching my channel. I really do appreciate it. So today, in our triple option, I'm going to go over our simple unbalanced rules to run our inside veer, which we call 12-13 veer, and how simple it is to teach quarterback which side to go to, right? I mean, especially when you want to go up tempo. This is something that needs to be ingrained. It can't be something when you only do when it's up tempo. It needs to be consistent all the time, right? So I'm not going to tell you the codes that we use, but I will share with you the numbers system in terms of total numbers, which tells our quarterback which way to go, and how we teach our wide receivers and slot backs how they can make adjustments in terms of who they're going to block on the perimeter. Okay? So now over here are going to be the key terms to help you better understand how we teach which way to go in an unbalanced formation to attack a defense, in this case the 4-3, right? And which perimeter blocks are best served if it's to the unbalanced side or if it's to the nub side that we call. Okay, and then over here I have up top same unbalanced formation versus 4-3 under front. One high, they're going to crank the safeties, and then down here, 4-3 over front with the same rotated safety to the unbalanced. Okay? All right, so first up, right? First key term is unbalanced itself. Well, what's the purpose, right? Why do you run unbalanced? Well, we run it because we want to see the defensive adjustment. Okay, and on top of all of that, typically you don't get a lot of film on unbalanced itself from other teams, so you don't get to see how your opponent will adjust to unbalanced. Now, obviously, if you have film from previous years, you can see what your opponent did, and more often than not, unless it didn't work at all for them defensively, you're probably going to get a similar, if not identical, adjustment, right? So you want to, if nothing else, confirm the defensive adjustment. Yep, they're doing the same thing, or oh boy, right, they're doing something different. Okay. The defensive adjustment affects letter B here, the total numbers and potentially the angles, right? Depending on how they adjust, that affects where the total numbers are. And then letter C here for us, if we get 5.5 or 6 to the side of the unbalanced, we're going to the unbalanced. Okay, so 5.5, and it's never going to be less than that. Okay, unless there was a major gaffe by the players on the defense. So 5.5 to 6, we're going to the unbalanced. Okay. So we're going to give you two different versions of the 4-3. Number 2, what we call 4-3 under. They're going to give balanced numbers. That's up top. And in that case, the extra wide receiver is going to crack the free safety number 3, right? Remember, it's unbalanced. And then the H slot will end up loading the Sam linebacker because he's going to hear an in call. Okay, so I'll go over that with you on the top diagram. Number 3, it's a 4-3 over front, which means we're going to the nub side. Okay, because we're going to have 6.5 to the unbalanced side, and now we got options, right? So that's going to bring it. We're going to use what we call whirly motion. It's a changeup. Okay, and so the two options we have is we can go whirly cowboy, which means the T slot's going to block the corner, or we can go whirly block, which means he's going to block number 2, the will linebacker. Okay? So that's a lot for the defense to consider. It's very simple for us. So now, over here, right, up top, we got a 4-3 under, one high. So first thing we teach the quarterbacks is, what do you got in front of you? Okay, so he sees it's a 4-3. He sees he's got the 1 and the 5, making it an under to the unbalanced. What are the safeties doing? He can look, right? We teach the numbers. So he looks, he sees number, let's just say strong safety's number 20. He sees it's one high, number 20's to the side of the unbalanced. Right? So because the 3 technique and the mic are on the nub side, he knows we've got balanced numbers, 5.5, 5.5. Okay? He knows that. And he's always scanning left to right, but he knows it just by that. And he makes the code call, which is telling the offense we're going to the right. Okay? We're going to the right. So, simply put, then everything's the same, right? Pitch back will go into his tail motion. On the backside, they will work to scoop the 3 technique. On the front side, he's going to make an ace call. You got a 1 technique. They will ace up to the mic, but as we always say, get hip to hip and get movement on the 1 technique. Primary block is the 1 technique. Block the line of scrimmage. Up to the mic. Okay, so most likely the right guard in this case is the one who's got eyes on the mic, right? So now over here you get the in call. The Sam linebacker's in the crease. He's not part of the count, right? So that kicks in here. Here's our extra wide receiver, right? There he is, the X. Instead of being on the left, he's over now. See, it's unbalanced. Yeah, he's ineligible, but we don't care about that. This is a run play, right? This would be 12 Veer. With a crack and a load. It's built in. It's automatic. He's available to crack. He can't go out on a pass, which means he could stalk the corner, run hard, run fast, run off. At some point, he'll break down, block for the pitch, outside run. Here's our handoff key. Here's our pitch key. Number 3's in there. So he'll crack number 3. He's going to make his call telling the tackle he's loading the Sam, so don't act release. He wouldn't anyway because it's 5 technique. So he's going to veer release, protect the B gap. He's going to load the Sam up to the free safety, right? So if the Sam plugs, he goes to safety. If the Sam patches over the top, the H slotback has it. If the Sam patches over the top, he's got his eyes looking for the Mike linebacker. B-back's on his veer track, right? He's given unless this guy's crashing high, that near shoulder's crashing, and then we're attacking out here on the perimeter, inside shoulder of the strong safety. It's a beautiful thing. But it all starts with, on an underfront, they crank the safeties to the unbalance. Our quarterback knows it's even, 5.5, 5.5. Okay? So that gets us to go to the unbalanced. Right? 5.5 or 6, we're going that way. What happens when all of a sudden it's 6.5? I can tell you this, there's no panic. We're going to the nub side, right? The over front. So see the bottom line when you teach your quarterbacks, okay, 4-3, the mic goes to the 3 technique, okay? So that's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now they crank the safety over, guaranteed at 6. So your quarterback comes out, he sees the 3 technique is to the unbalance with a 1 high. He cranked the safety to it. He knows he has 6.5. He knows that. Even if the safety, trying to be cute, doesn't line up as a half, he lines up over to this side in the A gap. We're still going nub side. Because you're going to get that. He's still got a long ways to go. Because this corner has to be the 3rd defender. Has to be. Okay? He may not be eligible, but he is. And we also have what we just call an over tag. This could be a tight end. And that could be, right, a tackle. Could be. We haven't done it very often. Okay, and that's typically when we have our tight end unbalanced, by the way. Okay, so that's a possibility too. See future presentations. So now the quarterback knows. It's easy. First thing he recognizes, he's got over front here. He makes the code telling everybody we're going nub. We've now empowered the T in this case. T's always nub side for us. We've empowered him to just make the code call that he's blocking the corner or he's blocking the will. So the quarterback knows who to read for pitch. Okay? So since we first put here the cowboy, right? This will be 13. Veer. All right, so now the backside is over here. The same thing. Scoop the 3 technique. Got an ace call up to the mic, right? Whether he makes the code for the corner or the will, the tackle knows he's veer releasing inside, looking for Mike. So if the mic appears, he'll take the mic up to the free safety. See, nothing changes. B-back's on his veer course. Your motions with the T, so your pitch back just has to get on the hop and get there. He can do it. So the whirly should tell the defense, here it goes again, except now, okay, the first one equals the cowboy. So now the quarterback knows he's reading the will for the pitch. Right? The second one, the T uses the code that he's going to block the will. Now the quarterback knows his pitch key's the corner. It's just simple communication that we do from day one in the spring. Okay, you got to be fair and tell your quarterback who his pitch key is. So if you give the code for cowboy, he knows pitch key's the will. If you give the code for block, he knows pitch key's the corner. Right? And who's the better run defender? The will. So will always go into every game. Our first adjustment will be to use the code to block the will. Make the cornerback play run defense, not what they want to do. Okay? So that's the simplicity versus the 4-3. They're either in and under or they're in and over. How you teach your quarterback, right? Very, very easy. Use the unbalanced extra numbers to your advantage when the defensive numbers are to your advantage. Utilize your motion to influence the defense and give yourself the empowerment to change up who your pitch key is because you got 2 different options as to who it can be. Okay? So as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football. I really do appreciate it. Anybody has any questions, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.